return your call. You left a message on the Kingdom Hall website.
Oh, yes.
Picked up one of our brochures off the cart.
Yes, I was given a second-hand copy of your book, Enjoy Life Forever, which I've been reading. Thank you.
Okay.
Could I just ask, I forget, which congregation are you?
Well, there's two. There's Farnborough West and Farnborough East.
Which you?
Sorry, I'm ringing from Farnborough West because I picked
Farnborough
up
West.
messages.
Yeah, Farnborough West. Okay, thank you. I've got your book, Enjoy Life Forever. When I went to church, which was many years ago, some of the teachings I noticed were a bit different.
Yeah.
I went to a Baptist and then a Pentecostal church, many, many years ago.
Right.
So I was a bit puzzled that some of the teachings are a bit different.
Yeah.
For instance, lesson 15, Who is Jesus? Paragraph 3. May I please read it?
Yes, if you've got it in front. I haven't got mine in front of me, but by all means, read away.
Yep. After Jesus' life as a human ended, he was resurrected as a spirit and he returned to heaven. There God exalted him to a superior position. Now Jesus has a position of great authority, second only to Jehovah himself. Well, I certainly believe that Jesus was killed. He died. I believe he resurrected. I believe he returned to heaven. I believe God exalted him to a superior position. But I can't accept he was resurrected as a spirit.
I see.
I mean, he showed his hands and his feet, didn't he, to his disciples? And he told Thomas to put his hand into his side. Why would he do that if it's a different body?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I mean, essentially, it's difficult over the phone, but essentially, when you think about it, I think in Acts, because after he was resurrected, it was a period of about 40 days before he actually ascended properly to his Father in heaven, and it appears that he materialised different bodies. He appeared to Mary and that, didn't he, in the garden, and he appeared to other disciples. He appeared to a couple of the disciples walking on the road to Emmaus, if my memory serves me correctly. So he sort of materialised bodies to present to them, and that's obviously when he came to Thomas. But when he did eventually go to heaven, because he couldn't take a fleshly body into heaven, could he? That would be a bit of a problem. But yeah,
you would need to prove that. You would need to prove that.
So is it something you want to look into a bit more? Because we offer you a Bible. I mean, obviously it's difficult over the phone.
Yes.
We offer a Bible study course if you're interested in that.
Yes, I would certainly be interested.
You said,
could I finish my sentence if that's possible? You said he manifested different bodies after his resurrection. Which verse says that, if that's possible, please?
Well, it's not about which verse. He appeared, didn't he, to his apostles, as you say. He appeared to Thomas and to the others. So he appeared with a physical body. So obviously he'd materialised the body to use at that particular time.
The verse I was alluding to was John 20:27. Then he said to Thomas, "Reach your finger here and look at my hands, and reach your hand here and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing." He's telling Thomas to put his hand into his side, surely because his side bears the marks of crucifixion, the spear that he was pierced with. And he tells Thomas to look at his hands because his hands bear the marks of crucifixion. Surely that would be because he's risen in the same body that died. I mean, that's what resurrection means. It means to stand up again. Not in a different body, but in the same body, you see. At least that's the way that I would understand it.
Okay. So, as I say, if you're interested, because which you're in Farnborough, I would assume, or Aldershot, somewhere like that.
No, I'm somewhat to the west of you.
Are you in Farnborough?
No, I'm somewhat to the west of you. I called Farnborough because I couldn't get through to my local Kingdom Hall.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because that would really, it's difficult over the phone. We're happy to go through the brochure and discuss quite, a little bit more detail.
It's not a brochure.
It's easy.
It's not a brochure. It's a book. Less than 15 is not in the brochure.
Yeah, there's two. There's one which is a brochure which just has the first three in it, which we tend to use, as an issue. You're right. Then you've got the one which is the slightly thicker one, which is more of a book. But yeah, whatever. We're happy to go through that. So, by all means, go through that with one of your local witnesses if you would like to. That'd be brilliant.
I found them hopeless. I've spoken to them at the carts. They simply tell me go to jw.org, which I have done. One told me go to Cheltenham, speak to the service desk at Cheltenham, which I've done. When I spoke to the service desk at Cheltenham, they said, no, don't speak to us, speak to the local congregation. So everyone passes you on to somebody else. It's not, it's not quite right, I think. It's not impressive.
Okay, well, all I can say is, and obviously you're not near us, so there's not a great deal we can do to assist you, but I'm surprised that they haven't offered to study the Bible with you, but I can't speak for what they said. Obviously, I can only go on what you said, but that's all I would encourage is talk to them in person. That's the best way, if you've got questions.
They seem to prefer to talk to themselves at the carts rather than speak to people who approach the carts.
Obviously not going to comment on that.
Right. I can speak on the phone or I can speak on Zoom. Would it be possible to help with this thing about the resurrection?
Well, judging by the conversation, you've obviously tried our friends, and if you can't accept it from them and can't accept it from the brothers, it's not Cheltenham, by the way, it's Chelmsford, then I don't really see that we picked at random.
Yes.
We'll be able to help you. I would advise you to go back and say, well, look, let's sit down and study this together. That's all I would advise at this moment.
They don't seem too bothered. Another verse that puzzled me is John chapter 2, which is prophetic.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm getting a sense of this here, that we're not here to have debates. We're here to, if people are interested, we'll talk about things. But I really don't want to get into a debate over the phone.
Yeah,
so.
I am interested. I want to know about the resurrection. I'm not interested in debating. I want to try and understand what the Bible says about the resurrection. Yeah, if you could help me, I would be grateful, please.
That's why I said, then please, by all means, sit down with the witnesses wherever it is in your own local area, and they will help you. If you ask them for the help, they will help you. It's as simple as that.
They don't seem too bothered. They don't like people who ask questions, and I asked questions. They didn't seem to like that, just as you don't seem to like that. One of the verses that really puzzles me is John 2. If you could help, please. John 2:19 to 22. John 2:19, Jesus answered and said to them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days, that's the 3 days he was dead, I will raise it up. Verse 20, the Jews totally misunderstand him now. Then the Jews said, it has taken 46 years to build this temple, and you will build it up in 3 days. Verse 21, but he was speaking of the temple of his body. So the temple that he says, destroy this temple, in 3 days I will raise it up. That's his body. And that's what resurrection means. It means to stand up again, not in a different body, but surely in the same body. And verse 22 confirms this is talking of the resurrection. Therefore, when he had risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this to them, and they believed the scripture and the word which Jesus had said. So from this, isn't Jesus prophetically saying that the body that's going to die, that will be dead for 3 days, that's going to live again? He's going to stand up again, be resurrected in that body. Because verse 21 says, but he was speaking of the temple of his body. Body is soma in Greek. I've done a word study on this. Always refers to a physical body. Never, ever does soma, body, when it's applied to a human being, apply to a body made of spirit. Robert Gundry, I think Gundry was his name, he did a word study of this, which I've read. This is important to me. I really do want to know this. If you could help, please.
But to my mind, what you're saying is you have one thought. If you don't believe what we believe, well, that's fine. That's up to you. I don't really see how we can help you, to be honest, because I think you're really just trying to poke holes in what we believe. So I think probably best, as I said, if you have questions like this, is to talk to us face to face. Talk to the witnesses on the cart. Ask them for a study. I suspect they've offered it to you, and it hasn't happened for whatever reason. I really see no benefit in continuing the conversation. So I hope you get the answers to your questions.
You don't seem too bothered about me.
It's not that. It's not that at all, my friend. I'm not bothered about you. I don't think I'm in a position, judging by what you're saying, that I can help you. So, as I say,
you said several. You said several things. What's the first thing? You've made several points. What was the first point that you made? Oh, he's hung up. Another runner.